Hey there, Stampin' friends. Welcome to Movie Monday with Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen. This is the card we're going to make today. It is I believe it's called a stained glass glitter window, and it comes from one of my all-time favorite demos, which is Dawn Griffith. I love everything that she does because it always is so sparkly and pretty. So I think this was a swap that she did for something. This is a direct case, but we made this in my WOW class. And for those that weren't able to attend, I want to show you real quick how this is created. You can totally jump over to Dawn's Facebook page or her blog and find that information there. But I'm going to do a real quick vid here for you guys. So we're going to use the Beautiful Day stamp set, and I have a piece of window sheet. So it's going to be hard to see, but we do need to use StazOn ink for this particular stamp or this technique. And what I like to do to start off is to take my Sharpie and put an F on my window sheet. So that stands for front, because there is a difference between the front and the back, and you'll see as we move along why you need to make sure you know for sure which is the front and which is the back. So I'm going to take some StazOn, and I'm hoping I'm going to rock the boat here, but I want to get it real good and inked. And actually, I was afraid of that. We used this StazOn pad in my class, and it's a little dry, so I had my refill here because I kind of thought that might happen. And we're just going to get some black ink on there with our StazOn. Really make sure you're concentrating on his body. That's what I noticed really didn't want to hold the ink real well. So make sure, sorry, I'm taking you for a ride. Good and inked stamp set, and then we're just going to turn that over, and oh lordy, I can't see what I'm doing, but here we go. Lay that straight up and straight down. Now you want to be careful because this wants to slide a little bit, so you want to be cautious when you do your stamping. I'll tell you what we used in my class, and that was the Stamparatus. That worked really well. We didn't have any problems with the ink or the stamp wanting to slide because this window sheet is just so slippery. So make sure you're giving some pressure there, giving some time for that ink to transfer. And then we're going to peel that off. Now what you might find is you have a little bit of ghosty areas, and that's okay. But if you have some that are a little more prominent than others, at this time, you'll take your Sharpie and just kind of fill those in. And what I found was dotting it seemed to work better than coloring. Whenever I tried to color, it just seemed like the tip of the Sharpie just kept moving the ink around, and so I wasn't a big fan of that. So just kind of, now it does not need to be perfect. That's okay. We're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for the shape of the butterfly. So now this needs to sit and dry for a little bit. So what you could do is go ahead and work on the rest of your card parts for a little bit. And that's what we're going to do here. I took a piece of lemon lime and ran that through ahead of time in the tufted embossing folder, which I absolutely adore. So cool. It's one of those dynamic impressions, so it actually looks like it quilted your cardstock. That is just so stinking cool. And looks like I'm missing a piece. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm totally missing a piece of paper. All right, get rid of that then. We're going to keep going anyway. So here is my card base, lemon lime. Went ahead and folded that. Then I'm going to take a layer of basic black. Attach that on the front. And I have two pieces of white just because one's going to go in the front and then one will go on the inside of my card as well, so that I can put my sentiment on the inside. I always like to kind of doctor those up a little bit too, so when you open the card it's nice and pretty. So we'll do some white on the inside as well. All right, so then I have a piece of basic black that I went ahead and die cut out with our layering squares, and then I'm going to attach a layer of white to the top of that. Once I get this video edited, I will make sure that you guys have dimensions. So we're just going to have that there. Now, what I would have is this layered onto a piece of basic black, which I'm missing. So I'm not going to put this card together just at this time. I did also take a sentiment from that same stamp set, Beautiful Day, and I went ahead and stamped that in StazOn. And I want to notch, I want to do a little flag on the edge here. And I don't know if you guys know, I may have showed this before, the tailored tag punch is perfect for this. The triple banner punch will work as well, but this one is one I just happen to have on my table. And just do a little flag on the bottom there. That'll go on with some dimensions. So once I find my piece of black, I will finish up that card. So by that time, this guy should be dry, okay? So what I want to do, I have my F here, which is my front, so I want to make sure I turn him over. We're going to totally work on the back side, and we're going to take our blends, Stampin' Blends. If you guys don't have blends, why not? These are the coolest markers, I guess, that I worked with. Like, I absolutely love them. I can't stop using them. These are our version of alcohol markers, and they're so much fun. So they come in a light shade and a dark shade. So what I'm using here is light Night of Navy and dark Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to color on the back side and just put some color onto the back of our butterfly. Now, the cool thing is that you can keep layering this. It dries really, really quick. The only thing you might be a little upset about is it kind of has a scritch, a little bit squeaky when you're working with it on this particular window sheet. So let it have a moment to dry. And then the alcohol is what makes it dry real fast, which is super, super cool. So you can just get that color layered on there. Once it dries, which like I said is real quick, it's already dry, you can go back over and you can put another layer of color on so that you can continue making it just a shade darker if you choose. So for the sake of time, I went ahead and did mine. So here is my butterfly already colored. So now what we're going to do is take a piece of our glimmer paper. This is Silver Glimmer. This is in our new annual catalog, and you guys, it's amazing. So if you're not a glitter fan, you don't like getting all the little, I'll be honest, in my studio we call it stripper dust. If you don't like getting the stripper dust all over you, if you don't like having glitter all over your face and your hands in your studio for the rest of, you know, a month, check out this new glimmer paper. It's like compressed, so it doesn't shed even when you cut it, which is awesome. The other thing is it's got a paper backing. We used to have a real thick kind of shiny, waxy backing on our glitter paper before, and this now is regular paper, which means it's way, way, way thinner than the glitter paper was in our last catalog. But I love the fact that it does not shed, and that is fantastic. So check it out, please. All you glitter people that love glitter, you're gonna love it just as much. Those of you who hate glitter, I think you're gonna love this too. So now what we're gonna do is flip it over on the back side, and we're gonna strategically place some glue dots to hold my window sheet to my glimmer paper. And it doesn't have to be all over the place. Actually, I'm gonna use my pokey tool. Hold on a sec. Sorry about that. I think this is gonna work a little bit better for me. So you wanna kind of pop that off, and then you're gonna strategically place those glue dots. I did his body, and then I kind of did in some thicker areas of his wings. So it doesn't show through real easily. So the hardest part is making these boogers come off. So I'm going to tell you all the fun things that we call these tools in my studio. When my kids were little, they used to call these snot dots because they get on your fingers and then they would like roll them around like they were a booger. So now we all call them snot dots. And they kind of act just like a boog. Can't always get it off, but they are exactly what we need for this project. I keep bumping the camera with my hat. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna do 2 more at the tip of his wing just to make sure nothing is gonna come off. I think I'm gonna do it, yeah, I'm gonna do one up, do these kind of up here. Oh, you don't want to come off, do you? Where's another one? There's one. Alrighty. Okay, so now you're just going to take your piece of glimmer paper and you're just going to smash that onto your window sheet. So now you've got this gorgeous butterfly, right? So now all you need to do is just cut out both pieces at the same time. Nice and slow and steady, and you're just going to trim that guy right out of there. Now I'm not going to do the whole thing because you guys totally get the gist of how that's going to work. I do want to take a minute and talk about these antennae. So on Dawn's video, she did cut those antennae out so they are glimmery. I'm going to just kind of get rid of some of the excess I got working on here. And what I did, I'll show you on my other card. So I just kind of popped that up so that the window sheet came up, got rid of the glimmer, and then I just trimmed. So when you look at mine, his antennae are not glimmery. So you can do either, whatever works for you. I was having a hard time, like it was really hurting my hand to try to cut through 2 layers, and I was afraid I was going to end up just cutting them right off and then he'd have no antenna at all. So your choice, you can have glittery antenna or you can have regular antenna. But basically once you get this cut out, you're going to pop dot him right onto your card base and you'll have this gorgeous glimmery stained glass window. So thanks so much, Dawn Griffith, for being amazing and letting me copy you. You guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week for Movie Monday.